on and lie. And it's gotta be the, and it's gotta be the, wanna. I need a hero. Oh, notification. Okay. Ginger Slant. It's Butters. That's me. Okay. We got one chat up. We got two chat up. And we have three chat up. Pop out. Ta-da! Okay. Where's my spooky music? Where's my spooky music? Oh. There it is. Okay. We have spooky music back. We'll say goodbye to the video. Here's our spooky stories. Here's Twitch chat. I gotta make everyone like kind of a little bit small. YouTube. Why is YouTube chat looking so weird? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. Oh, Nitro sent me a DM. Is it a spooky story? Is it a spooky story? Alright, hold on. Let me make Twitch and YouTube both small, since there's way more on TikTok. Okay, here we go. That works. That works. That works. Ta-da! Okay. Hi, Hales on Twitch. Hi. Alright, let me bring my stories over here. And my chats over here. Does it look okay on TikTok, by the way? None of us are going to sleep after this. Do you like my spooky music? Des, Justin Cliffy's here! Meg, Ruby, Rachel, Janet, Billy, Turbo Panda? Yes, Turbo Panda was the one who donated 30 extra minutes of stream so we could do spooky stories. Rye, Nitro, Maya. Rye is here. The mood music, you like it? Ren. Maddie! Hi, Maddie! Hi, Ren. Okay. Ooh, spooky music. Spooky. No volume. Okay, hold on. Let me just log in. Let me just pull the stream up. Ta-da! We got it. I'm looking bright. I'm looking bright, and I'm not sure why. Oh, I know why. Because OBS had to update, and it reset all of my camera settings, so that's a why. Oh my god, my hair. Please. Please. Please don't. Okay. Good to see I'm doing okay-ish. Probably gonna lurk. Maddie, feel free to message me. I'm gonna go to sleep kind of early tonight, I think, but I will be up. I just binged 2 novels this weekend. Me love stories right now. Yes. Cliff. Hi, Mariposa. Okay. Are we ready? Spooky. All right, we're starting with Leafy. I'm starting back all the way up back in November, the last time we read these stories. I'm starting where we left off, okay? So if you don't get read in the next 30 minutes, I'm sorry. We'll have to do another one. Ready? So Leafy says, where is the music? Hello, spooky music? Okay, it's back. Okay, Leafy says, the college townhouse I lived in a few years ago. We had a ghost and we named her Chlamydia. Perfect. Miss Girl was always making a ruckus and making the walls creak. That's spooky. The ceiling would always creak and no one lived above me. My door would open randomly all of the time and the lights in the hall would just turn on and off randomly. That's spooky. Our bathroom downstairs was always freezing and the vents made such an eerie noise all the time. Well, one day I was downstairs waiting for my roommate to come down and leave with me to grab fast food. I was at the door looking at my phone and then I heard them call me. I looked up and I swore I saw them standing up the stairs looking down at me. They just had this blank stare on their face and I was like, hello? Let's go, bitch. I turned around and headed outside, and my friend was literally in the car the whole time. No one was in the house. Oh, I hated that one. Hated that. I don't like mimics at all. Mimics they really scare me. I'm not scared by many ghosts. Like, y'all know I talk to the ghosts in my house. Hi, Tyler. I hope these become a semi-occasional occurrence. Listen, y'all could always bribe for them if you want them. Otherwise, we'll just do them, kind of like whenever. Okay, here we go. This is from Sarah Beth. Okay, so just one of the spooky things to happen to me was when I was around 10 years old. That's a very tender age to be having a ghost story. Okay. So when I was Okay. Let's start over. Sorry, Sarah. I have dyslexia. Sarah Beth. Okay, so just one of the spooky things to happen to me was when I was around 10 years old. So when I was that young, my mom, she worked on the weekends at a later shift and would get home during the night after I was already asleep. Some nights she would come upstairs and check on me, tuck me in, but not every night. Some nights she was just really tired and would go right to bed because my dad was home and he obviously had taken care of me. I do remember one specific night when she had to come home from work and she came upstairs and she checked on me, tucked me in the blankets, and kind of smoothed the hair on the back of my head and gave me a kiss. Is this another mimic story? She kind of smoothed the hair back on my head and gave me a kiss, said that she loved me, and then I heard her go back down the stairs to bed. The next morning I was eating breakfast and I said to her, "Oh, by the way, thanks for coming to tuck me in last night." And she froze and she looked at me and said, "I didn't come upstairs last night at all." And just stared at me and said, "I went to bed. I ended up working a few hours later and I was super tired, so I went right to bed when I got home." And she's just looking at me with this, I don't quite believe you, but I'm also kind of horrified expression. Then I got kind of weirded out and I'm like, "What do you mean you didn't come and check on me last night? Then who talked to me?" Because I felt somebody physically tucking me in and she was just absolutely horrified. She kept trying to tell me that I imagined it when I most definitely did not imagine it. I almost am convinced it was my great-grandmother who had passed recently. Oh, that's much better than a mimic. That makes me feel better. It was such a loving experience that after I got initially weirded out, I was so happy. Oh, such a happy ending. Ooh. I'm watching this while doing my flight attendant training videos because they're a drag. Oh, Mendoxai. What a drag. Moved over here. Twitch didn't want to load. Heck, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Next spooky story is from Turbo Panda. I have quite a few spooky stories, but this one is my favorite to tell. And not super spooky, by the way. So our farmland has been in our family for generations. The old farmhouse that I grew up in was well over 100 years old. And when I was 12, my parents decided to burn it down to build a new house. That is so gangster. The fire department came out, set it on fire. Oh, I thought it was them. I thought your parents were just like casually committing arson. The fire department came out, set it on fire, and did training with the new volunteers. It was actually pretty cool to watch, LOL. Anyway, a few months later, after the new house was built, my mom and I were inside painting. I was painting in the bathroom while she was just outside the doorway on a ladder painting in the hallway. All of a sudden, I started smelling cigarette smoke. No one in my family smoked, and it was just my mom and I home. I turned to my mom and told her that it smelled like cigarettes. She said, "They must have been smoking while the building..." She said to me, "Oh, they must have been smoking while they were building the house, but I don't smell anything." But it didn't smell stale. It smelled like someone had just lit one up in the room. The smell kept getting stronger, so a few minutes later, I turned to say something again to Mom. But when I looked up, there was a see-through, billowing cloth floating out of sight past the doorway by her head. If you've seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, it looked and moved like the ghost of Christmas past, but without the creepy doll face. I haven't seen that. I stared at it until it was out of sight. Shortly after, the cigarette smell went away. At the time, I didn't say anything to my mom because I didn't think that she would believe me. It took me a few years to piece everything together. My grandpa on my dad's side was born and raised in the old farmhouse. He lived there almost his entire life, and my dad bought it from him. He lived there almost his entire life until my dad bought the farm, and he smoked for most of his life. Okay, let's check it out. He had passed away a few years before we burned down the old house. I believe my grandpa came back to check out the new house, and only I could smell the cigarette smoke because I was much closer to him than my mom was. I eventually told Mom what I saw, and she swears to this day that she never smelled the cigarettes. I've always wondered what I would have seen if I had looked up just a few seconds earlier. Oh, spooky. There's also a photo visual. A visual to better explain where I saw the cloth. So it's like a doorway, and then a doorway that's like slightly off-centered to the first doorway. And Mom was kind of like in frame of the doorway, and then the bit of cloth was in the upper left of the doorway. And Turbo Panda was sitting on the lid of the toilet painting the wall. That's where she was looking from. I'm watching. Oh, I already caught up. Okay. I hope we're enjoying this. And then Haven's in the channel goes, when the fuck did we get this channel? Okay, hold on. I need to get to the next story. People were using this channel to chat. I'm surprised Haven didn't block y'all. Henhouse. Hi, Henhouse on YouTube. Okay. Oh, we were talking about Furbies one night on stream, so Katie submitted a story. It says, so with the Furbies, I have a story with a totally different toy, even though my dad was freaked out over it. Oh, even my dad. Let me start over. I'm sorry. I have dyslexia. It's been really bad lately. Thank you, everyone, sticking around, even though I'm kind of tripping over some of these words. Okay, Katie says, so since we were talking about Furby stories, I have a story with a totally different toy. Even my dad was freaked out over it. There was this Barbie cat from one of the movies I got. Nothing too scary at first, but then it started acting weird. I hate when toys act the way that they're not supposed to. It would make a low growling sound. We took out the batteries, and it would still low growl and now hiss. We put it in the closet just to put it away, and it would end up in the middle of my floor. We finally threw it out, and it was gone forever. I don't feel as crazy because my dad experienced it too. You know it's real when the dad of the family believes it and, like, is freaked out too. Okay. A pimp named Slickback. I don't know who this is. I haven't seen them. Okay, so this is from a pimp named Slickback. I hope you get to see me read this. So back when I was a kid, it's Furby. We got a couple Furby stories to kick this off. Okay, perfect. Also, with Katie's story, I was gonna say I wonder if the batteries were low, and then she answered me immediately, and they took out the freaking batteries. Oh, Smoke's here. Hey. Even be like, all right, I'm shutting down Discord. Okay, next story. From a pimp named Slickback. So back when I was a kid, my father got my sister and I a purple/gray Furby for Christmas because he said he saw it in a commercial. At first it was okay. I'm personally creeped out by it because of its eyes, but my sister didn't really care, and I thought it was just a normal 90s toy. Well, you thought wrong. We got the batteries for it, turned it on, and it was making weird classic Furby noises like it did in the commercial. But it would never stop. So my father took the batteries out and put it in our little toy chest. Is this another toy without batteries story? Oh, good Lord. And note that it wasn't making any noises at that point. It was shut off. A couple nights fast forward, my sister and I were sleeping in our shared bedroom until we were awakened to the weird-ass noises coming from our toy chest. I looked over to my digital clock, and it was pretty late, being 3 a.m. I made my sister open the toy chest, and lo and behold, it was the damn Furby making weird noises. My sister being creeped out, she made me check if there were any batteries in it, and there weren't. The on-off toggle was switched to off as well. We woke my father up, and he too was shocked and creeped out. And because my father has seen enough scary movies with dolls, he grabbed a hammer from the kitchen and smashed it. It was still trying to make noise, but it sounded deeper and more mechanical, so my father just chucked it in the dumpster that night. Needless to say, we hate Furbies in this family. Finn. I would actually like a Furby, like a vintage Furby, not a new one. I would love a vintage Furby. I like how creepy they are. Okay, here's one from Kylie. It says there's a precursor. It says this is long, LOL, and not really creepy, but it is bizarre. That's fine because I have like glitch in the Matrix stories that I still think are creepy, even though they're not necessarily scary. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I don't like the hammer part, and it's still trying to like cry out while your dad's smashing it. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, Kylie says, this is long, LOL, and not creepy, but it is bizarre. Perfect. I'm so sorry. This story happened to my cousin's family. My cousin's mom has a sister and their mom. One of the sisters lives in Nevada. She had a dream, a vivid one, about walking into a house and hosting a Valentine's party. She saw her dad who passed away, and she said, "What are you doing here, Dad?" He replied, "I've been here the whole time. 1234 Foster." He stated a real address in the dream. I don't remember what. Okay. Later on, the Nevada sister came up to Idaho to visit her family. She told her other sister about the dream she had. For kicks and gigs, they drove around and looked for the address. They found Foster. It was an older dead-end road. They drove down it, but the last address there was 1233. And remember, Dad said 1234. They said, "Oh, well, that would be neat if the house was here." Time passes, and the Idaho sister was with her mom at the town hall for some reason. For kicks, once again, they remembered the address and asked for it to be looked up. Smart. Apparently, it was a real house address, and a man named Steve Wright lived there. The sister exclaimed he was a friend of their deceased father. They were told a story that their father would give all his Valentines that he received to this boy because he never got any. Isn't that crazy? The story doesn't end there. The sister and mom went to check out the address one last time. They got out of the car and looked. Hidden behind 1233 was an older house. The sister took a picture and sent it to the one who had the dream in Nevada. She called immediately and said, "No way, that is the house that was in my dream." Isn't that crazy? This is a true story that has happened to my cousin's family. It really makes you wonder. Wow. Des, it's you? Des. That is so cool. Wow, that was a good one. I agree. So Pants responded to Dez's story and said, "I really believe that dreams are more than we realize. Whether we travel to other dimensions or something else, I'm not sure, but it's definitely something." I completely agree. I also think it's like weird how nobody finds it weird that humans and like all these other creatures just casually like have to sleep or else they like die. Like we have to go to sleep. Like why do we get tired and why do we go to sleep? I know it's for our bodies to recover, but like we're gone. You know what I mean? Okay. Here's another one from Kylie. It doesn't have to be anonymous. I was on my way to snowboard. Oh, wait, we already read this. This is a poop story. Okay, we're going to skip the poop stories. Okay, hold on. We're going to get to the spooky stories. There's so many poop stories. Oh, okay. Here start the spooky stories again. Spooky stories. We're back to the Sorry, I had to sift through some poop my pants stories. Ginger, a few of us are worried about you. Are you okay? Why? What do you mean? What's the matter? Sorry to interrupt this, but Ginger, your neck looks really red. Is everything okay? Yeah, I get hives when I like don't feel good. My stomach's been bothering me. Where is it red? Right here? Yeah. I get hives. I'm okay. My stomach's really been bothering me all day. Okay. Let's go. This is from Nahomi91. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking up on me. Y'all are so cute. You guys are so cute. All right, spooky. Here's the spooky ones. Nahomi91 says, I used to work for a company called Varsity, and one of our sites we had to clean was a cemetery. And before we went in, we would put on sage. Nope. Let me start over. I used to work for a company called Varsity, and one of our sites we had to clean was a cemetery. And when we went in, before we went in, we would put sage on this guy that started to work. We told him there's some sage, and he said, no, thank you. After the meeting, we went to work 20 minutes. The new guy started to yell and scream. Okay, so this is what's going on. Sorry, I didn't really understand when I was reading it. So Nahomi used to work at this company called Varsity. They would clean up cemeteries, and everybody used to sage themselves to protect themselves when they went into the cemetery. There was a new guy. He said, no thanks, I don't want any sage. So they're like, all right, whatever, suit yourself, bro. So after the meeting, we all went to work. 20 minutes later, the new guy started to yell and scream, the guy who didn't get sage, and he ran out. We went after him. He lifted up his shirt, and he had 3 marks and a handprint on his neck. After he left, we went back to finish, and all we heard was, get out. That's spooky. That's spooky. Here's another one from Nahomi about the same company working for, the DM I sent you was the poop story because I'm a night behind on the lives. That's okay, Nitro. When we do poop stories again, I will remember that you DM me one. Thank you so much. Tez goes, hell nah, with the Claude emote. Okay, here's another one from the same person, Nahomi91, about the same company, Varsity. And I'm assuming they clean buildings because this one's about cleaning buildings. They also clean that cemetery. Here we go. While working for Varsity, we were in charge of multiple buildings. And another building was the Lincoln Center, and it was 3 of us, Maria, Tristan, and I. Maria told Tristan to stay on the first floor, and Maria and I went to the second floor. We were cleaning the bathrooms, and I started to mop the floors, and I look down, I see some feet. I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, excuse me, the bathrooms are closed for cleaning right now. When I opened the door, there was nothing there, no one. The wet floor wasn't messed with, and there were no footprints. So they were cleaning a bathroom, saw feet underneath the stall. And Nahomi tried to be like, oh, excuse me, we're cleaning in here. And then when they opened it, no one was there. And the water on the floor wasn't disturbed or anything, no footprints. That one's spooky. Yeah, that one's spooky. Nahomi, sorry if I'm bad at reading your stories. There's no punctuation, so I just kind of had to take some liberties here. If you guys want to submit spooky stories, just try to use periods. You don't have to. I'll be able to take liberties, but it does make it a little easier for me and my dyslexia when there's punctuation. Love you guys. Okay, here we go. Gotta scroll down. Okay, here's another one from Nahomi. This is great. Another one from Nahomi91. My boss, Anthony, asked me to go and clean before we meet, which is like 30 minutes away from where I live. So I went to clean the building, but Billy, with the fool, and I called my coworker Maria to come and help me. She came over. We met the main janitor of the school, and we were talking to him about what needed to be clean and what else in particular that he needed. So he told us that he needed us, that at the end of our cleaning, we would all meet up so he can put the alarm for the school. Okay, so at the end of their, all he needed from them was that so they would meet with him after they were done so he could do the alarm. So we were like, okay. So me and Maria got to cleaning, and once we were done with the second story of the building, Maria says, hey, I'm going to go clean the theater, and then you stay here and finish cleaning the bathroom. So I said, okay, and I start cleaning the girls' bathrooms. On the first toilet, I finished putting the solution into the toilets so I could just get out and let it soak. And I was like, okay, well, might as well, since I'm done, might as well just give it a look. And as soon as I turn around to leave the bathroom, a flush is heard from the first toilet. That's weird. And I was like, okay, well, now I have to go back and put the same solution. That's annoying. So I put the solution in the toilet again, and I turned to leave again, and the toilet flushed again. So what is point? Oh, so at this point, sorry, there was a typo. So at this point, I was super fed up, and I was like, God dang it, I just want to go home already. It's like 11. I'm pretty sure Maria's almost done. I need to hurry up. Like, I gotta get the solution in the toilet. I just got out of here. So here I am putting the solution for the 3rd time, and I don't know why. I was just said to myself, I'm just gonna go look at the sink to make sure everything's okay. I assume with the plumbing. And when I go around to go to the sink, I see this. No. Okay. So here I am putting on the solution on the toilet for the third time. And I don't know why, but I went over to the sink thinking I'm just going to look at the sink to make sure everything's okay. And when I turn around to go to the sink, I see this little girl in this Victorian outfit with blonde short hair. And she said, "Hello?" And I literally ran out so fast. You did not. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying that's insane. Okay? So I looked for Maria, like frantically. I finally find her and I tell her everything that happened. And Maria goes, "Dude, nothing happened in the bathroom. You're fine. Don't worry." Like as if it was their imagination. So Maria says, "Well, since I'm the supervisor, he's going to go in and check." And when Maria went into the bathroom, she starts going off at me. She was like, "I thought you cleaned this bathroom, but it's not clean." And then I told her, "Yes, I did clean it." She says, "No, it's not cleaned at all." When I went in to look at it, there was some footprints on the floor. And there were 2 little girl handprints on the sink. And then I was like, no way. So I ran. I was like, I'm going home. I'm out of here. And luckily, I bumped into the main janitor and I told him, "Hey, I'm ready to go home." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, good. So am I." And I saw Maria. She came back and she said, "I had to finish cleaning it myself, but let's go home. Let's go home now together." Okay. So we're waiting at the alarm, right? Because the janitor wanted us to meet them there. The janitor puts in the code to lock the school. And ironically, the code to the back of the building where the pool was. Oh, an idiot like I am, I didn't lock it. So the alarm wouldn't work. So he said, "I'm going to have to go in." Okay, sorry, there's a lot of typos. So the janitor said, "Okay, I'm going to have to go in and lock this door so the alarm will set. I'll be right back." So this guy was like, "I have a guy that's extremely heavy, and so 10 minutes go by." Okay, all right. Sorry, there's a lot of typos. Okay, so the guy said he's going to go back in, lock the door, so he could come back and set the alarm. Okay. Well, keep in mind this guy's extremely heavy, so he's taking a little bit of time. 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And we come to see this massive guy, like, running down the hallway. He says, "I'm done. I'm getting out of here. I can't do this." I guess he gets in the truck and drives off. And Sumit and Maria were like, "Okay, I guess it's up to us to put the code in." So we go try to lock the door. They're on their way to lock the door so they can finally set the code since the last guy failed at that. And we both heard a little girl laugh down the hall. So we were like, "Oh, hell no, not today." So we literally got in the van. We got in our work van. And as soon as you know, when we got to the work van, we turned the car on and there was a little girl standing in front of the car. Bro, my coworker did not move anything. But the car just went forward. And so Maria and I just jumped out of the van and we ran for like a block and we were yelling at the top of our lungs like, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" And they both definitely saw it. I was so scared that I started laughing because of how nervous I am. Maria says, "Do we need to go back into the car? Because how are we going to get home?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, but I'm not getting in that van." And so Maria says, "Listen, I don't want to go by myself." And I said, "Okay, we'll go together. We need to get home. We need to get in this van." So we finally went. Maria turned on the car. Nothing happened. So we went home the next day. I was telling my brother about it, and he found out that the high school we were cleaning, in the high school that we were cleaning, a father tied up his daughter and ran her over with the car. Wow. That's insane. She's probably so lonely. Like, if that's the truth, she's probably so lonely and was just trying to get your attention, like how Claire tries to get my attention. Oh, man. I love how Rye answers all of these. Okay, let me see if there's any others. There is another long one from Naomi, but I want to try to get to somebody else because we're towards the end of our 30 minutes right now. Let's see. Oh, Snowy Darth, whatever. This is Farmer, right? This is Smokey. So here's a spooky thing for y'all. I get dream locked. Does anyone know what I mean? It's when you're stuck in a nightmare, fully lucid and aware that I'm dreaming, but I can't wake myself. I pinch myself. I punch myself in my dream. I cannot wake myself. I'm locked in my dream. Yes, I've had that happen. Janeth, if you have a ton of... Oh, Janeth, is that you? Is that you? The ones that you posted? Yes, it is Janeth. Okay, I got you. Let me see if there's any more people. Otherwise, I'll just go through Janet's. Oh, here's one from Hales. Okay, we have one from Hales. Janeth, I can always go back and read your other ones if we do another spooky story stream. I just want to give other people a shot for theirs to be read. I hope you understand. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I posted a short one. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is from Hales, which hopefully is still on Twitch so she could hear her story. Okay, so I'll start with the haunted land that my family owns. I've heard stories about this place all my life. Dark shadows walking around rooms, furniture moving on its own, and vehicles cranking by themselves. Some that had broken down, God damn it. Reset. Story from Hales. I've heard stories about this place all my life. Dark shadows walking around rooms, furniture moving on its own, and vehicles cranking up by themselves. Some that had been broken down for years, that could not run at all. And more of my personal experiences with the place weren't quite as extreme, but one summer, me and my dad had to paint some shutters for a job and needed a big space to lay them out, so we decided to do them there. The place had been abandoned for years now. We were painting them outside, and it was a hot Texas summer. It was in the hundreds. We stepped inside to get out of the sun because it was so hot, and it was so cold in the house that you could see your breath. That's insane. It was freaky. Later on, I bought a trailer, and there's a trailer park down the road from there, like a mile away. I moved to it because it's a good location for work, and as soon as I moved there, weird stuff started happening all the time. Stuff would vanish and appear in place. I couldn't... Sorry. Punctuation. Okay. I moved to the trailer park because it's a good location for work. As soon as I moved there, weird stuff started happening all the time. Stuff would vanish and appear in places that I couldn't miss, like on my counter, when I had dropped it on the floor, etc. So I put two and two together, and I knew it had to do with that land and moved away from it. I have enough haunting without dealing with whatever goes on there. Thank you. Hales. Oh, Hales in TikTok now. There you are. Okay, next one is from Smokey again. OMG, I forgot I have one that will blow y'all's mind if I'm awake enough to type it. Here it goes. Okay, here we go. So Smokey is the one who gets dream locked and gets like locked in his dreams and like is aware that he's dreaming. Okay, as a kid, I had a terrible time getting to sleep, endless anxiety and energy. But when I did get to sleep, my brain would do crazy things. My first bedroom was either haunted or my brain was super clever. Many, many times I would fall asleep, leave my body, and see my sleeping body below. That's called astral projection, if you want to look it up, Smokey. Or out-of-body experience. Either one. Astral projection. Okay. My first bedroom was either haunted or my brain was super clever. Many, many times I would fall asleep, leave my body, and see my sleeping body below. Then a dark black hole on the wall, always in the same spot, would suck me in and start some weird nightmare or dream. When it ended, I would come out of the black hole and back into my body. For some reason, I was always looking in my window as this happened too. That's So weird. Okay, here's one from Zeniverse. Here's one from Zeniverse. It's been half an hour. We're almost at the bottom. So this is perfect. Yes, we have Zeniverse and we have Tyler. Perfect. This is from Zen. This might not be as cool as some of the other stories, but when I was little, I had this ghost/spirit of a girl named Wendy that was constantly telling me about her life in a telepathic way. I never physically saw her, but I knew she was there and could see her in my mind. That's how I am with Claire. She was around for years, and even as time went by, I even tried to convince myself that she wasn't real. It wasn't until a few years later that I was talking with my friends down the road, and they said they were communicating with the same ghost. They even described exactly what she looked like. Like exactly, even though I had never once told them or anyone else about her. To this day, I hope her spirit is okay because I haven't heard from her in a very, very long time. Zen, she probably crossed over. I used to see Claire every single day, and after she crossed over, she only visits sometimes. That's a really good one, Zen. Okay, this one's from Tyler. Everyone always starts off with mine isn't the best or as spooky as these other ones. They're all perfect. Okay, this is from Tyler. Wubba-lubba-dib-dab-wubs. Mine isn't the best, but in high school, I'd usually try to sort of take up time from my class by going away into the bathroom. I was the only one in the bathroom, nobody else in the stalls, so I started taking up time in the mirror. Take away eye boogies and whatnot, messing with the hair, anything to take up some time. LOL, don't judge me. So I hear a loud whisper in my left ear, like it was literally right next to my ear. I feel the wind of the hey on my ear. I was in the mirror, so definitely nobody behind me and definitely nobody there at all. So I walked back to class. My teacher says, "You look like you saw a ghost." And I said, "No, but I heard one." Oh my God. That one was really good, Tyler. What do you mean? Tyler's in chat saying, mine isn't the best, okay? You were looking in the mirror. Nobody was there, but you heard it. That's a really good one. Okay, let's see if we can maybe just get through. We're at 33 minutes, but I want to see if I could just get through Naomi's stories, Janeth's. Okay. So here's another one from Janeth. Walked, bro. I would have been running to class. I would have gone to the nurse's office and insisted on going home. Okay. So this one's also from Janeth. Here's another story. This is when I was cleaning the pottery barn where you play with clay. So I would go and clean that building by myself because it was easier for us to divide buildings. That way we can get everything done in one night. So one night in specific, I started to feel a little bit weird, like off. And I was texting Maria. I was like, "Maria, I don't feel comfortable. I want to go home. Like, I don't know. I feel like something's bad is going to happen. Like, I just have this weird feeling." And Maria says, "Okay, look, we're almost done. Can you stick it out?" And I was like, "Okay." So I stick it out. And I was almost done cleaning the bottom section of the first floor. And I was like, "Okay, well, now I'm just going to do my walkthrough, make sure everything is okay." And so one of the spinners for the clay turned on. You guys know, you have the pottery wheel. It's turned on by electric and it spins. Okay, so one of the spinners for the clay turned on and I was like, "What the hell?" So I go back to turn it off. I unplug the machine. And when I go to unplug the machine, but when I got there, it was already unplugged. And I was like, "Jesus, help me right now." And then I was thinking, okay, well, I'm getting out of here either way. So I just turn off the light and leave. So I get in my car. I look up to the building and the light turns on from the second floor and there's literally someone waving at me. Ew! Like someone who was in the room you were just in. And then later on my birthday, I had to go back to work at the pottery barn. And I was just sitting in my car. I look at the directions towards the Pottery Barn front door, and there was a shadow standing outside the door. And I just took off. I called Maria and I said, nope, I'm not ever doing this location again without you being here with me. I told her about what happened, and she's like, yeah, that's happened to me too, but I still go into work. And I'm like, well, I'm taking the day off. See you tomorrow. I'll meet you guys over at the Lincoln Center, which I guess is where their next job was. I don't like the ghosts in window stories. They're spooky. Okay, here's another story from Janeth. Janeth says, okay, here's another story. So Fort Collins has 2 major cemeteries. One of them is in the center of Fort Collins. The other one is closed off by the highway. And so on this particular day, Anthony, Maria, and I were supposed to go look at it and see how bad it was, like dirty-wise, on the inside. So me and Maria get there first, and we told Anthony, hey, our fobs won't open. Can you come and let us in? Their key fobs wouldn't open the door. Our fobs won't open. Can you come and let us in? So Anthony said, okay, I'm around the corner. So Anthony gets to the cemetery. He lets us in. Me and Maria start cleaning off the back office, and we hear the vacuum turned on. And we're like, okay, so Anthony's started to vacuum that part of the building. At the exact same time, Maria's phone went off, and Maria picked it up, and she's like, hello? Hello? Anthony, I can't hear you. And Maria said to me, Janeth, can you hear what Anthony's saying? She hands the phone over to me, and I couldn't hear anything. It was all static. And between them, you could pick up like some letters and a little bit of the words. So Maria goes, well, damn. Then we heard the back door knock, but we were like, maybe someone's just trying to get in or something because I see the lights on. And then we kept getting phone calls from Anthony, but we couldn't hear anything, just static. So I finally was like 2 hours in wind. Finally, Maria picked up the call one more time. It was Anthony again. He's like yelling at the top of his lungs, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. And we're like, Anthony, you're on the other side of the building. What do you mean get out of there? You're vacuuming. Remember, they heard the vacuum on. And he said, no, I'm home. Come back. Like, get back to the office now. And so we were like, what is wrong with you? You were literally on the other side vacuuming. And he said, no, literally, I'm not there. I'm on one of my computers in the main office. And one of them fell down. And me and Maria were like, nope, not today. We ran as fast as we could. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. There's no punctuation. So I'm just kind of like making liberties again. Sorry. So Anthony had said to them on the phone, no, I'm not there. Come back. Get back to the office. So we're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You were literally on the other side of this wall vacuuming. And he said, no, I'm not there. Okay. So at that time, one of the computers from the main office fell down in the location where Janeth and Maria were. So we're like, oh, hell no, not today. We ran as fast as we could. We left the lights on. We didn't even look back. We went to regroup in the office, and Anthony was explaining that he went to grab the vacuum, but he left it on the side of the room because he had forgotten the vacuum bags. You know, the ones that go inside, yeah. So he left. He got locked out. He wasn't able to get back in. So that's why he was trying to call us. He was like blowing up Maria's phone, and he came to a point where the calls didn't even go through because for whatever reason. And so Maria goes, well, my phone kept ringing from a number that we didn't know. And when we did pick up, we would just hear letters and numbers that we could pick up. But there was so much static that we couldn't hear anything. And then Anthony says, I got a call that there was a really weird man yelling on the other side of the phone. And he was saying to get back. And then Maria told Anthony about the monitor that fell. Anthony called the cemetery to do like a checkup on the computer. So the manager from the cemetery says, no, nothing was broken. Nothing was on the floor. The vacuum was not there where Anthony left it. So Anthony left the vacuum on the side of the room. They both witnessed a computer fall. They called to check up on like, hey, sorry, did we break a computer? Like, we'll take care of it. And also we need our vacuum back. And they're like, first of all, there's no vacuum here. Second of all, nothing's on the floor and nothing's broken. So Fort Collins has the city park pool that is public. Oh, is this another story? I think this is the beginning of a new story. And I think that's it for Nahomi. Yeah, this is the last one. Okay, last one. So Fort Collins has the city park pool that is public, and me and Tristan went to clean it. You know, just like the offices and the bathrooms, and that's it. So on this particular day, me and Tristan were cleaning the bathrooms, and we heard a huge splash. Interesting. So Tristan says, what if somebody, you know, came in and they fell in the pool? And we heard a little boy. So Tristan ran out there and he immediately jumped in the pool because he said he saw someone like splashing around and they thought it was this little boy. So when I ran out there, I saw Tristan like drowning. What? So they called 911. I called 911. I asked them to come and help me because literally my coworker Tristan is drowning. And as soon as the police showed up and came into the pool, Tristan was able to get out by himself. He was telling the police that he felt like something was pulling him down and that he saw a little boy drowning, but when he jumped in, there was nobody there. And because I was standing right there and Tristan and I, after that, we decided not to clean the pool after that. So Tristan heard, like, they both heard a splash into the pool. Yeah, Kivy, no. I would have quit after the first spooky encounter, but 4? You are so brave. I know. So they both hear a splash. Tristan thought he saw a little boy in the pool. They definitely heard a little boy. Tristan jumps in. Janeth goes to chase him, only sees Tristan in the pool. No boy. Now Tristan looks like he's drowning. So Janeth calls 911, is like, my friend's drowning. And then as soon as the police got there, Tristan was able to get out on his own. And he told everyone, like, it felt like something was pulling me down. And I just couldn't get up. And Janeth witnessed it. Okay, I'm not throwing any shade, but Janeth, why didn't you jump in the pool to help Tristan? Can you not swim? You probably can't swim. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a jerk. But why didn't you help Tristan? Nope. Yeah, I don't like that one. I don't know how to swim. That's what I assumed, Janeth. Thank goodness. Because that's what I thought. Okay, did someone post a new one? I see people typing. Elibme, Zeniverse, and Hales. I see you all typing. Damn, we ended up doing like 45 minutes instead. Right? Yeah, it's been 45. Big fear of mine getting pulled down. Yeah, I don't like that. That sounds horrific. Being in the pool and getting pulled down by something that you can't see. Thankfully, it sounds like Janeth quit at the right time. That's really horrific. What if Janeth didn't call 911 because it sounds like it stopped when the authorities got there? What if she had never called, or what if they took a little bit longer? Was Tristan close to like actually drowning? Like, was he, okay, so I have some questions, follow-up questions. Was Tristan like under the water, or was he like getting pulled and then was able to get some air and then would get pulled and able to get some air? Man, I just got here, had a manic episode. Oh no, train wreck. I'm so sorry. I have a major one that I'm going to try to post tomorrow. It sounds like we're going to have to keep doing this. Oh, okay. Here is one from Zeniverse that they just posted. So we're going to do this one. Yes, it was like that. Damn, that's terrifying. Janeth, were you crying? I would have been crying. Okay. Zen says, one time I was working on costumes at a theater for a show late at night. And when me and my boyfriend walk in, we hear music. Nope. We hear music start playing from the main part of the theater, and then it stopped. We look at each other and call the director and ask him, hey, is anyone else supposed to be here right now? There was music playing. She said no. That's so creepy. We all freak out, and she sends her gun-carrying husband, who's nearby, to come check it out just in case someone broke in. He pulls out his gun, and starts searching the whole theater, telling them to come out. There was no one there and no other way they could have gotten out. Still the freakiest moment I've ever experienced. And then in parentheses, it was a very small children's theater. That one's spooky. Oh, Janeth, I have PTSD from the experience. I was freaking out. That sounds horrific. And then you not knowing how to swim, you can't even help your friend who is drowning right in front of you. Woo! Hi, Drebin on Twitch. They get a little popcorn emo. Pretty good creepy stories. Your stream should have more viewers. Reveler Red, thank you so much. These are all submitted by the Discord community, so they haven't been read anywhere else or anything. Thank you, Reveler. That's really sweet. Hopefully one day. You know, I've been consistently streaming like every night almost for a year and a half. We have a big community on TikTok. And in Discord, we have over 500 members. Okay, here's Allie. Allie, it's a short one. Exactly, we made a pact to not get therapy because we'll be considered crazy. Oh, I don't think you're crazy. Just for the record, I believe every single one of all of your stories because I have so many ghost stories of my own. This is how I explain it, right? Like, believing in the supernatural or ghosts is like a line, right? And or like a chart or a line. We'll just say a line. On one end of the line is someone who does not believe at all in ghosts, thinks there's zero possibility. So every single person falls somewhere on this line from start to finish. I don't know, you can't see my hands, so that we're gonna scale it down so you can see. So here's the line that represents everyone in the world. Everyone falls on this line. At one end, there is people who 100% don't believe in ghosts. Even if something happens to them, they don't believe that it's a supernatural. Just 100% no, nothing could convince them. Okay? In the middle of the line are people who believe in ghosts but have never experienced something, and we call them the believers. Believers, non-believers. And then at the very end of the line, this is my own personal line, by the way. I made this up. At the end of the line, all the way on the other end from the non-believers and never will believers, are the knowers. And the knowers are people who have seen the laws of physics broken in front of their eyes. So they know for a fact that something more is going on out there. Does that make sense? I made that up a long time ago. I said it in one of my YouTube videos. I've lived with ghosts a couple times in downtown Charleston. I've been living with ghosts for 10 years. Actually, my whole life, because my grandfather was in my childhood home. Did you ever post part 2 to the Claire story on YouTube? No, and I'll tell you why. I actually haven't even looked at the footage because I think I'm not going to like it. I might have like an episode if I watch it, honestly. So if you saw in part 1, a lot of weird things were happening in the video and I would play them over. Like I would cut them out and play them over, sometimes enhance the audio so you could hear. There was a bell that kept dinging. There's no bells in my house. Like one of the, like a metal bell. There's no bells in my house. A bell kept ringing. There was one of the paintings that was behind me, like moved. A couple things happened in the video. So when I filmed it the second time, something really, I don't even remember I think I blocked it out, honestly, but something really freaked me out and I had to stop filming. And basically I was just like staring into space for like, it felt like an eternity, but it was probably like 2 minutes of just like silence. And I was like, I can't do this video right now. And I just turned off the camera and I haven't looked at it. Oh, hey, long time no see. Hi. I'm a knower. The ghost in my house likes to be active when I watch stuff like this. My cats hate it. Yeah, Claude sees stuff. He's the only one of the cats that really interacts. I swear to God, there's a ghost here at this house I moved into, and it messes with everyone. Yeah, we have Claire in our house, but we like her. We don't mind her. The knowers are everyone from Appalachia. Do y'all like that? I love that everyone's using the term the knowers. Yeah, there's the non-believers slash never believers. There's the believers in the middle, and then there's the knowers at the end who have had experience. So, you know, believers might have had some experience, but I consider that like, you know, you hear something, but it's unexplained. The knowers would be someone, like I said, who have had the laws of physics broken in front of them. Like a TV, like for example, Janeth, a computer falls off of a desk and they watch it happen and nothing pushed it. For me, I watched an oak chair that was like 10, 15 pounds move across 8 feet across a kitchen. Defies the laws of physics. That's why you're a knower, because nothing like normal could have caused that. There is no explanation for it. The laws of physics were broken and you watched it happen with your own eyes. We are the knowers. Yes. Yes, our house is like 100. How long have we been here? Our house is 105 years old now, I think. I hear my name called, but I heard that it means it's a demon. Not necessarily. I think a lot of TV shows, and especially a lot of people who don't know much about the supernatural, I think they like jump to call things demons to make things seem scarier or more serious. Oh yeah, everyone watch out for the Fae, for sure. I got Fae trapped. I've been in a relationship, like a forced contract with the Fae for, I don't know, how long have we been in this house? Probably like 4 years now, 3 or 4 years now. I don't believe in demons. I don't know what I believe in. I mean, there was something in our one house that needed exorcising that me and Richter witnessed, and he was never a believer. He was a non-believer. Okay, so we have a message from Allie and from Hales, and then I think we'll stop there because I'm going way too late. I told my roommates not to mess with the Fae, and they have no idea. No, don't mess with the Fae. At least read up a little bit about the Fae and Fae traps so you can avoid stuff like that. I very, very firmly believe in the Fae. Maybe it's the Irish in me, the Irish-Scottish in me. I don't know, but I fully believe. Okay. So, Allie says, my story is super short, but here it goes. I live at home with one other person. Sorry, let me start over. Everything switched up on me. I have a strong relationship with trees. Did you know that trees talk to each other through the root systems? They communicate with each other. Trees are incredible. I love trees. My dad, we don't really like my dad. Like, I know we don't like my dad, but he was the one who really got me like into trees and told me like how, like, I don't know, spiritual they are. I love trees. I feel like they try to communicate with people as well. Okay. I swear to God, I saw a fairy last week and I'm choosing to block it out. Zen, now you have to post in Spooky Stories and tell us what it looked like. I need to know. Okay, here we go from Allie. My story is super short, but here it goes. I live at home with one other person who's usually there, but this night I was home alone with my pets. I go to let my dogs out for the first time. Nope. I go to let my dogs out for the last time before going to sleep, and my cat runs outside into the yard. My cat isn't allowed outside, so usually if he gets out, he bolts and he hides. This time he freezes, and I hear clear footsteps in the yard that sound close. I think he heard them too, and that's why he froze. I grabbed him and ran inside, and I said out loud, we are not sticking around to see what that was. You know, that's super creepy. I have a Fae that messes with me. My friend told me that's probably what it is anyway. It might be. Okay, here's the last one from Hales, the last one we're doing tonight. I'll draw it and post it with a tiny story. Yes, perfect, Zen. Okay, so this one's from Hales. It's our last one tonight. When me and my sister were really little, she had this imaginary friend that she would play with. God damn it, dyslexia! Starting over. This is from Hales. When me and my sister were really little, she had this imaginary friend that she would play with. I never thought anything of it because she was always using her imagination a lot. For a long time, my sister wanted an American Girl doll. She wanted one so bad, and she got one for Christmas one year. That doll was everything to her. She played with it constantly until we started feeling a little weird about the doll. I guess my sister did too, because she started playing with it and her imaginary friend less. One night, my family was saying their goodnights. We were in the hall in the front room that the doll was in, sitting on a shelf. For some reason, we looked at the doll, and when we did, the doll turned and looked at us. No, thank you. My dad grabbed it and threw it away and had nothing else come of it after. I hate that. I hate that so much. Like I said, you know it's serious when the dad gets involved, when the dad believes it. Whew. I'm not afraid of dolls. I actually want a hyper-realistic, like, porcelain doll from this one artist that I've been, like, obsessed with these dolls for, like, 10 years now. He makes hyper-realistic, like, little porcelain dolls, like, this big. They have, like, Victorian clothing and stuff. And I showed Rick, like, they're so hyper-realistic that in these videos that he's making them, it looks like a real person. You could not tell the difference. And I showed Rick them, and he's like, never will that be in our house. And I'm like, but I want one day when I have money, like, I want one. And he's like, no, that doll is not coming into our house. Jesus. I love dolls. Yeah, Hales, if I were you, dolls would bother me since then too. Okay, that is the end of our spooky story stream. Maybe we will have more in the future. I love you guys, and I'll see you in Discord. Good night. Spooky music. Ooh.